Hello, we are here. We are live on Instagram. For those of you who are catching this on the replay here on Instagram, you can feel free to tap forward if you want to get through any of the notifications and babbling in the early parts if you feel like doing so. If you're catching this replay elsewhere, you can always advance through using your slider. So people are showing up. Hey, we've got Shop Cloud Lab. We've got Rock Eye, I'm assuming Rock Eye media expert, maybe Rocky media expert. Jen89 is in the house. Hey, good to see you. I am so glad you guys are here. We are talking tonight about all things algorithm in the world of Facebook and Instagram. This is my third video in less than 2 weeks. It's been it is Rocky. Okay, good. Thank you I hate usernames. You guys, every time you guys do this to me, I always end up making a fool of myself with usernames. We got Anna Huddick is in the house. We got Declutter by Deidre is in the house. Good to see you. We got Angie Khan Photography's here. Metra Pittman is here. Dewey is here. Good evening. We got Wendy Warner Designs. We got, IWI Web Solutions in the house. Hey, we got Creative Corner, bunch more people, everyone's popping in. Wendy Varner is saying hi, good to see you. So we are talking Facebook, Instagram, algorithms. So there's lots to talk about. We've been talking about this. I've been blogging about this. It's been going on. No, people don't want to stop talking about it, so we're still here talking about it. All right, we got Calypso Candles is in the house. Hey, Metra, good to see you. We got Kelly Ritz Realtor in the house. My girl, Tanya, the real TPS Fit, is here. You are not the first one tonight, honey. I'm just saying, you got beat by lots of people tonight. Hi, Deidre, good to see you. So I'm so glad you guys are here. Give me 12 seconds because you guys know I'm horrible at this. I'm horrible at typing and talking, and I'm a slow typer because I'm horrible with it in the first place, and then with the phone upright, I'm always so bad at this. So we are talking, and already I can't even spell. So let's hope autocorrect gets that one. So we got Facebook and Instagram algorithms. You guys love when it takes me hours to post this. Okay, so we are pinning that so everyone knows what we're talking about. All right, there we go. So we've got Braden Socials in the house as well. Good to see you. TPS Fit said no, but better than my last two show-ups. This is true. This is true. But at least this one was announced. So I'm appreciative of you guys actually showing up and being here live. As I mentioned, this is my third show in less than 2 weeks. Normally I do one every other week. I was like, should I go live tonight? I'm like, do I even have anything else to say? Do you even want to hear from me? Like, I feel like I have been throwing myself into the Instagram live space a little more than I'm used to, and I hope I'm not driving you guys crazy by being here too much. So with that being said, tonight we are going to be talking about Facebook algorithms and Instagram algorithms. So it is going to be a bit of back and forth. Ken finally showed up. You're like 2 minutes late, dude. What up? What's for dinner, by the way? I want to know what's for dinner tonight. We got Robin B. Artist is in the house as well. Good to see you, hon. TPS Fit, my girl Tanya is saying, no, we need you. So, and she specifically requested that we talk about Instagram algorithm because I was kind of like, hey, you know, I kind of feel like I covered the Instagram algorithm thing. I kind of feel like maybe a little bit too much. And so I didn't want to talk about it, but people are telling me to talk about it. So I will talk about it politely. For those of you who missed last week's video, that was a lot of not safe for work language, not safe for children and elderly people language. It's on YouTube. My camera won't focus. I'm trying to get to focus back on my face. I don't want to get too close because that's just scary. Hello! Come back to me. It's like my face is fuzzy. It's like focusing, and there we go. It's focusing on my image in the background. So it's on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search for Jen's Trends, and you can find the video I did on debunking the new Instagram algorithm. Yeah, I kind of went off. So if you didn't catch that video and you want some serious entertainment, like, it put all of my rants to shame. I think I described it to somebody who had said, oh, I can't wait to see your video, if it's anything like this other post you did. I'm like, Oh, that video made that post seem like Mary Poppins. Like, I went off in that video, you guys. It was crazy. So if you're up for some entertainment and you really want to know what's happening with Instagram algorithm that is not happening based on the one article that came out that everyone freaked the F out about, go watch the video on YouTube, because I can't possibly recreate it. It would be way too exhausting. All right, so we have a bunch of people showing up. Ken was saying hi. We got Kellyanne Ritz in the house. Watson said he was on a call. Oh, and he's eating up tamales tonight for dinner. Ken's always making dinner when I go live at this call, so I always ask him what's for dinner. James from Singapore is here. Galarza.Sam is here. TPS Fit said last week's broadcast was the best rant ever. It was pretty epic. I mean, like, if you want to see me rant, like, that's pretty much as epic as it's gonna get. And that, believe it or not, was actually like cautious in the sense of I actually tried to contain my language. If you had seen me not on camera, I don't think any of you would ever want to know me again, because it was epic, and like I said, that was still being cautious. James said good day from Singapore. I have to listen to the replay. Have a good day. Thank you for at least popping in and saying hi, and for sure make sure you come back and watch the replay. So Verve is in the house. We got Larry Snow is here as well. Hey Larry, good to see you tonight as well. Larry's asking if I'll be ranting tonight. I don't think I'll be ranting. I think I'll be a little bit more practical tonight. I'm definitely gonna be a little more calm. I'm nowhere near as worked up as I was last week. Both the videos I did last week, I was like, ah! It was so hopefully this one isn't as bad. Watson KS, Ken is saying, yeah, my rant couldn't measure up to yours. I'm going to admit, it didn't, I'm sorry, it didn't hold a candle. It was a good rant. It was. Ken did his own video, a few days after I did. And he talked about same thing about the Instagram algorithm changes that had come out and all this, you know, oh, blah, 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 BS. And he did his own rant and shared his opinions as well. But his was a little more tame than mine. I think by the time he got to it, the passion had worn off from those early days. But it was still a good rant. It was still, he covered all the good points and was very clear about a lot of things that need to be addressed in that article. So it was still really good, Ken. So Verve said last week's rant was life. I did find the article. Good. I'm glad. See, I didn't want anyone to, I didn't throw the author under the bus. I didn't. But have you guys seen the follow-up to this? I know we are going to get to this, but seriously, you guys, I have to, for 5 seconds, take a minute and be like, I literally impacted the world. You know how we all wonder, what our impacts will be in life and how we'll contribute to the world? Well, last week, I actually made a small dent in the universe. I really did. So the article in question that came up about this whole new Instagram algorithm and all this bullshit about what was going on, it started in the artist community. It was an artist, an illustrationist who does pretty lettering and all this kind of stuff. She was the one who wrote the article that went viral, that got everybody all worked up. And I did my video, my rant, which has now been watched a few hundred times, which is good because nobody knows about my YouTube channel. I just started it a little while ago, and I usually get 20 views on my YouTube videos. So to have a couple hundred, I was like, woohoo, success! But what I did was I also posted on Instagram, and I created a post, and if you want to go over, you can check out after this video. Don't leave the video, because I want you to stay here. But after the video, you can go to my profile, and I have a post where it says, Stop the Madness. And I basically debunked the entire article in that post. Well, that post is what went viral. It got shared freaking everywhere. It went craziness. People were posting about it on people's pages and profiles and sharing it and links. And I think I had over 100 people mention it in their stories that I got DMs about, well over 100. I was at 100 by within 36 hours of me posting it and getting it out there. So it legit totally picked up steam. It went through the artist community. They are all calm and relaxed. But it was my little, I do a lot of things that a lot of people consider successful. To me, that was that moment of success, you guys. That was that moment where I was I flippin' did something of value. I took something that I was so passionately upset about, and I was able to change people's perspectives. Because no matter what you do, the bad information always is what gets carried away, right? The wrong information is what goes viral, and the good information nobody ever hears. So the fact that that information got out there, that I connected with so many amazing new people. I met so many people through this process that came to me, that asked me questions. We had so many conversations going in direct messages. I lost 3 days of my life over this, you guys. Like, I literally lived on Instagram for like 3 days dealing with all of this. And it was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was exhausting, but it was such an amazing experience from that perspective, to be able to actually have that impact and actually be able to correct the information that was out there was very validating in a lot of ways. And it was very comforting to know that these people got the right information and that they weren't going to start freaking out and doing all these horrible things that were talked about in the article, because that was my biggest fear. I'm like, they're saying don't do these things, but you should do those things. And then if people stop doing them, they're only going to hurt their success. And that's the last thing I want. I'm here to educate and help motivate and provide the education that you need to be successful. I would never want to take that away. And so the fact that this article kind of took that and did the reverse really is what got me fired up, because it wasn't just bad information, but it was going to make people do things that would actually hurt their progress and success. And that was why I got so freaking worked up about it. So the fact that it did kind of come full circle and we were able to get the word out there. It wasn't just me alone. Fortunately, I don't know enough people in the artist community. I couldn't have done it on my own. I got the post out there, and some of my followers who are in that community were the ones who made it go viral. They're the ones who went on to hundreds and dozens of people's profiles saying, it's not true, go check out Jen's Trends or Jen's_Trends. It's not true, go check out Jen's Trends. Like, they were doing all the work for me. They were the ones putting the information out there, and it spread from there. So it really was this huge undertaking to change all this information, but we did. And so from that perspective, it was a very unique, very rewarding, very exhausting, but fascinating experience in the last week. So that's the follow-up for those of you who did watch the rant last week where I went batshit crazy. That was the results. That was what happened in the end. So it was all good. Okay, so we have a few comments have come in. Ken had said he was burned out by the time he could go live, and he had like technical issues too. And we all know how like technical issues can completely ruin your opportunity to go live. Like, by the time like he went live, he was so frustrated that it was like, it takes all the energy out of trying to go live and be that upbeat personality when like you just want to throw your phone into the puddle in the street and have a garbage truck run over it. So we got Julie Kaplan is in the house as well. Larry Snow said the only people upset about the Facebook changes represent about 0.5% of Facebook users. And I wouldn't doubt that. It's a very small percent. The people that are freaking out are the people like us. They're the marketers who are either lazy or they're manipulative, and they're trying to utilize Facebook to kind of game the system to get their information out there. And then when they don't get their way, because Facebook make changes, they all freak out about it. And that's who's freaking out. And then they have the voice. They have the capacity to put the voice out there, and they start getting everyone else freaked out. So Real T-Piss Fit said, Jen, you always do something of value, whether you feel it is effective or not. Trust me. I love you. Thank you so much for that. And I know that I do give you guys value. And I know that, in some small way, I do contribute to small changes. But that one circumstance was one of those things where you just saw it catalytically happen in such a small time frame that it was one of those really unique experiences that I had yet to ever really experience in this space. So for me, it was definitely a very unique experience. Larry Snow said, the remaining 99.5% of users are cheering for the changes and have no idea what the craziness was about. I don't know if 99.5% were cheering for it. If you have 99.5% of your audience cheering or your network cheering, I need to be hanging out in your network, because they're obviously a whole hell of a lot smarter than a lot of people in my network. Not that I have some very smart people in my network, but man, I had a lot of people freaking out. Like, a lot. And I was like, why are you people freaking out? And so Blake W. just joined as well. Good to see you. All right, so let's talk Facebook, because why not? That's why we're here. So there's been like 3 major Facebook announcements in less than a month. Like, in basically since almost, I guess, maybe probably January 1st. Larry said normal users. Okay, yes, you're right. Normal users, people who aren't crazy like us, are probably very excited about this because it's meant to be for them. That's what we all have to get through our thick heads, you guys, as marketers, is that Facebook, and I blogged about this in the blog post I wrote last week, and I said, what does the algorithm, really mean to you? And here's the thing. All of these changes are meant to create a better experience for the average user. Because if the average user is not there, there's no Facebook. There is no marketing. You can have 100% reach, but if your 100% reach is to 0 effing people, what difference does it make, right? You need people there to be able to market to. So that is the whole point of all of this. The whole manipulation, the whole freaking out, the whole, panic attack is all coming from the marketers. The average user is excited about this because it's meant to make it a better experience for them. They are turning around and saying, okay, we're not going to overflood your newsfeed with public content, like things like from brands and businesses and that sort of thing. So it's not meant to be, something punishing anybody. It's supposed to. Celtic Complexion is in the house. Good to see you. I haven't heard from you in a while. So glad you could chime in. For those of you who are tuning in late, we are talking about Facebook and Instagram algorithms and all the recent changes or lack thereof when it comes to Instagram. So the thing is, this is all meant to, make our news feeds better, make it our content more the things that we want to see. Yes, we all follow a bunch of brands and we all follow a bunch of celebrities and we all follow a bunch of news sources and all this kind of stuff. But if we're never seeing anything from our friends and family, why would we ever tune in? Like, the reason we're on Facebook is to be with our friends and family, not to follow 300 businesses and see what they're doing. So this change is meant to make it more about friends and family, more about interpersonal connections, more about conversations. If you don't have the full-fledged grasp on this, after this video, head over to the blog, jenstrends.com, and read last week's blog post where I break this down in significantly more detail. Now, the thing is, since I wrote that blog post, another announcement actually came out, and it talked about the fact that it will reduce the amount of news feed or the news content you will see in the news feed. And by news, we mean published content, things like blogs, things like opinion pieces, things like actual news from, like, whether it's like HuffPost, whether it's from CNN, whether it's from, your local news station. It's this, Larry Snow saying Russian marketers are ruining everything. Okay, we can't give this one to the Russians. I mean, they probably ruined a little bit of Facebook. I think there's been enough speculation about that. But let's face it, we as marketers as a whole, the lazy, horrible marketers out there are the ones that ruin this for everybody. Blake W. said, it seems like a response to so many people who have been taking Facebook breaks makes sense. And yeah, here's the thing, you guys. When we log on to Facebook, if we don't see anything we like, we're not going to come back. If you log on and every time there's something interesting there, you're going to keep coming back. So what is interesting? What do you like? And this is, you have to understand, I can't remember what the exact number was. Socially Polished just joined as well. Welcome. Good to see you. I want to say it was like 100,000. Like, it was like a huge, ridiculous, don't quote me on that because I don't have the numbers in front of me. But something like 100,000 factors go into the Facebook algorithm. Like, this one component is a big component, but it's not the only component. Like, that's what people are like, oh, this is the end of the world because Facebook's doing this. Are you kidding me? Do you realize how many factors go into the algorithm? And it's completely tailored for each and every single user. The things that I see and interact with determine the content that I will get to see more of. If I never interact with certain types of content, the algorithm isn't going to show me that content because I don't interact with it. It's smart enough, if you want to call it smart, it learns what our behaviors are as individual users and it tailors our content based on our behaviors. So there is so much more to this than just saying, you're not going to get any more brand content, because that's not what's happening. If I only interact with brand content and never interact with my friends and family, then I'm still going to see plenty of brand content because that's what's going to generate my interest and my engagement. And they want engagement. If you're not engaging, then you're not interacting. They don't want it. They're going to give you something else. So you have to understand how all of these components work together. And nobody, like, aside from maybe a few people who like work in the depths of the Facebook, world up there, know what all of these components are. Like, it's not something that we all have access to. So we just do the best we can with the information we have. And that's why people freak out about these changes, because they're one of the few changes that we actually know about and how it could potentially impact us. Watson KS said, Facebook needs to control my local news. They cray and overposting. Yeah, I have a couple. I have one site that is like crazy overposting, but the thing that pisses me off, and I started kind of unfollowing them, is because every time they post an article on Facebook, it's one of my local news stations, you like, if you like read the headline, you're like, oh, I want to know more about that, and you click on the link and then you want to go read it, you have to like sign in. Like you have to give an email address and like sign up to read the articles. And I'm like, really? Really? You're gating your content off of Facebook. Are you kidding me? You're a local news channel. Like, bye-bye. I'm gonna go read the other 3 news channels in our county that I can go listen to. Like, seriously, it drives me crazy. So I've pretty much unfollowed them because I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. And Watson Kid said, yuck, paywall. So here's the thing. When it comes to all of these changes with Facebook, the biggest one that everyone freaked out about was that there would be less content from brands and businesses. Yes, in theory, that is happening. People are already noticing a lot of changes. Like, they're like, oh, my newsfeed is only full of this, and my newsfeed's all stuff from 3 days ago, and I'm not seeing anything new. And everyone's like, kind of like, you know, talking about the changes they're seeing, and a lot of people are seeing changes. Not a bad thing, you guys. The thing is, it's a testing phase. Like, the algorithm has to like go through all these rollouts, and it has to go through these different stages, and it has to adapt to you as an individual user. So everyone's like, oh, my Facebook newsfeed sucks. I'm not going to use Facebook anymore. This was the baddest decision they've ever made. And they're all like panicking about it. I'm like, can you give it 5 minutes? Like, if you immediately freak out and stop interacting, you're not helping the situation. You're only going to make it worse, because that's everything it's trying to avoid, and all you're doing is playing into it. So you really need to like just keep using Facebook as you normally would. If you like it, like it. If you want to comment, comment. If you don't want to, don't. It's fine. Give it a couple weeks. Give it a month. I guarantee you it will get better. But as Ken just popped in and said, growing pains. This is going to take time. They're making a huge adjustment to the algorithm. They make all these like little tweaks all the time. They're making a huge adjustment to this, you guys. It's going to have an impact. It's definitely something that's going to throw things out of whack a little bit. But guess what? We'll all be okay. We'll survive. Guess Facebook goes on like what was it? I can't remember. A couple months ago, Facebook actually went down for like a couple hours. Oh my God. Guess what? We all survived. We lived without Facebook before. We can go off the grid without it now. And we're going to live with it whether it's good or bad or whatever in the future. Okay? You'll be okay. I promise. So calm down. Give it some time to regulate based on new changes and your interaction and the evolvement of this whole process. And you'll be okay. I promise. Laura Harrup is in the house as well. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Tonight, for those of you who have chimed in live or late, we're talking Facebook and Instagram algorithms. We've been talking about this a lot lately. We're talking mostly about Facebook right now. So the big thing was that whole Facebook taking on, you know, the whole Facebook zero, which go read the blog post from last week. I totally negated that. That's not what's happening. Now, so what happened was then another announcement came out from Mark Zuckerberg. And he talked about the fact that they want to get more trustworthy news sources. I covered this in today's blog post, so you can actually go read today's blog post for more information on that topic. But basically, he's saying they want to give you sources of information that are trustworthy, meaning whether you trust them or the general public trusts them more than other sources. Because there is, as Zuckerberg called it, sensationalism, that's a direct quote from him, about media. And we've got so many stories that get carried away that take a tiny bit of information and make it into something that's completely not, or completely manipulate the facts. And it's not just political. I mean, let's face it, the political landscape right now, especially in the US, is ripe for this kind of manipulation in the media. But it's more than that. It's you know, any context within the world, we're taking a single photo and turning it into a meme that's completely out of context. We're taking, you know, bits and pieces of information. And the example that I use in the blog post is what happened with that article about the new Instagram algorithm and how everybody went crazy about it when there was nothing to go crazy about. Misinformation went out that everyone took to be gospel. This happens all the time. Happy person is in the house. Hey girl, hey. Good to see you too. So when all of these various sources start citing things and people say, oh, I read it online, it must be true, and they start sharing it, then it gets crazy and it gets out of hand and it starts to become true even though it's not. And this is the challenge that so many of us, you know, have as brands. Like, are we sharing the right information? Are we putting, you know, the right information out there that represents us? Larry Snow said, is there any media that is trustworthy? And then TPS fits it, haha, truth, at Larry Snow. Look, at this point, we're all human. Small brands, big brands, you name it, we're all going to make mistakes. And I do talk about this a lot in today's blog post. My whole thing is that I totally applaud what Facebook is doing and that they're trying to find more trustworthy sources. And this is going to be done through surveys and various factors to be able to determine the most newsworthy sources before they're going to try to kind of like demote the value of content that comes from people that are less trustworthy based on surveys and this results that they're going to be gaining through these various methods. So I applaud them for that. I do. But in the same turn, you can go down a road of censorship, but it's Facebook. They're allowed to do whatever they want. They're not required to, put all the information out there. And let's face it, they probably put out way more balanced information than the average news source, speaking to Larry's point. So everything is so questionable these days. I use this example in today's blog post. You can send two people into the exact same room, two reporters, one, from the left and one from the right, and you put them in the exact same room watching the exact same press conference, the exact same event, the exact same conversation, whatever it is, and they will both walk out and write two completely different stories to the point that they're so polarizingly different that you wouldn't even know they were in the same room. Like you go, we all watched the same thing and yet we got completely different responses out of it. It's shocking how things can get so manipulated in translation, in personal opinions, in motivated reasons for things. So everything becomes questionable. And this is my whole thing. Like I said, I applaud Facebook for trying to do this, but can we as human beings and individuals and responsible people just do a little bit of our own research? Like this whole thing that happened with the Instagram algorithm, if people had taken 5 seconds to look and see if this information was reported anywhere else, they would have seen it's not true. Like a quick Google search for any of the things that she was saying in there would have shown that this is not true, that no one else is talking about it. Like really some artist from, wherever that has no social media, teaching expertise at all of a sudden knows all these insider secrets that literally nobody else is talking about. Maybe it's questionable, just saying. But everybody jumped on that being true. And it spread like wildfire. And you go, but and I had so many people come to me afterwards that were like, I can't believe I actually believed that. Like, I really didn't think it could be true, but so many people were saying it was true. I just kind of assumed it had to be true. And I'm like, and I don't blame them because we've all done that. But I'm like, if we all just took 30 seconds to research the things we saw online. I had a friend the other day who shared a meme and I trust her and I love her and she's a great person. She's a very trustworthy source most of the time. And she shared a meme and it was like where Trump had said, like, I can't remember what it was, but something about, he got, elected president on his first try or something like that. And then it had all these tweets from other presidents saying, I got elected on my first try and I got elected on my first try and all this kind of stuff. And so it's, trying to make it look like all these other presidents chimed in. Guess what? Go to their Twitter accounts. None of them tweeted that. Not one of them, which was kind of suspicious because I'm like, knowing how politically correct and how well-rounded most of these previous presidents were, not really their style to go that, direct in terms of saying that in a tweet. Don't really think it's true. Took 30 seconds of my life to go check Twitter and verify that it wasn't true, that these were photoshopped. And this meme went viral. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was sharing it. Everyone was doing this, including people that I know, that I trust, that I know are smart. And so it was just one of those things where I'm like, okay, can we just please take 5 seconds to learn information for ourselves? I know it's not always easy when we're like, oh, hey, that is in line with our views, or that's something we want to believe to be true. And so we support it and we put that information out there. But this is the challenge that I don't know if Facebook can fix this with this latest algorithm. I don't know how they're going to turn around and say what's really trustworthy. And even if it's trustworthy, is it still accurate? Like, how are we going to determine, like, of course, I'm going to say all my news sources are trustworthy because they're the ones I read. I'm going to assume they're right. That doesn't mean they are right. But if enough people say it's right, then it is, even though it's not. So it's going to be really interesting to see, again, how this impacts the amount of news and content, that published content, blogs, opinion pieces, and that sort of stuff actually starts showing up in Facebook. Larry Snow said, and make the whole article up, #cynicalme. Yeah. I mean, how much shit's out there that's, like, legit made up? Like, doesn't have any truth behind it. I mean, come on. And Larry, I'm with you. I'm a very big cynic in a lot of this. Blake W. said, Zuckerberg's new algorithms would have suppressed that. I know. It would have been nice. Ugh. But that's the thing. And that's the worst thing, you guys. I didn't even see this article on Facebook all that much. What happened was people started talking about it in the Instagram community. They started screenshotting it. They started creating graphics that they were sharing in their stories, that they were sharing on their Instagram profiles. They took that content and started making their own content to share on Instagram. Like, they took initiative. It wasn't just like, oh, click share. Like, they actually took initiative to create content to support this article. That was how much they trusted it. That was how much they wanted to get this information out there, which is why I was so like, are you kidding me? Like, at least on Twitter, when you just hit a retweet, or on Facebook, you just hit share and you put it out there. Okay, whatever. You hit share, you kind of, but these people were like creating content around it. It was shocking to me, the level of intensity with which they believed this article. Peanut Gallery, hey girl, hi, good to see you. TPS Fit said, the thing is, humans can be lazy. It's much easier to believe a meme rather than do our own research. Absolutely, you guys, I 100% agree. And we all do it. And I've done that. I've fallen for it. I've shared wrong information. We are all capable of this. And that's why, like I said in today's article, I'm like, can you please just take 5 seconds, take 30 seconds. If it seems too good to be true, if it seems unbalanced, just take 30 seconds and do a quick search. Is anybody else talking about it? Is there any other opinions on it? Is it something where you can actually validate that screenshot? And yes, sometimes people delete things, but it is like, we do. And it's, the thing is, and this is I think started my blog post with this concept. It's like, when we were kids, we were told, don't talk to strangers, don't take candy from strangers. Like, we were told all these, like, don't do these things, which now it's like, we talk to strangers all the time. Like, we go online, we talk to strangers all the time. So today, like, our whole thing in modern society is don't believe everything you read online. Like, how many times do we tell kids, don't believe everything you read online? And we all do it. We all read something and go, oh, gospel, truth, share, talk about it, write about it, get all fired up about it, and it's not true. Like, we're our own worst enemies because we are the victims of falling for this. And like TPS Fit said, Tanya said, we're lazy. It's just easier to be like, oh, someone else said it, it must be true. They took time to write it, it must be true. And it's just easier. But we're the ones who suffer. Like, we've created this cesspool of information that's out there, no matter what direction you want to look at it, because we've gotten lazy. Real TPS Fit said, but we're also capable of so much more. Absolutely. Watson KS said, my neighborhood Facebook group is great at showing the human laziness. Yeah, we've all seen those groups. We've all seen those posts. We all have those friends and family. I mean, I have some of my own family, some closer than others, that I'm like, damn, like, we're getting carried away with this. Like, it's getting out of hand. We need to, like, cut that shit out. But, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and some people are more likely to believe certain things or share content that's, like I said, aligned with their beliefs and those sorts of things. So I'm hoping that this Facebook shift in the algorithm will help with that. I don't know if it will. I really don't. But we'll have to see. Like I was saying, give it some time. Give it, a few weeks, a month for these things to kind of go through, and we'll get a better feel for what happens with all of this. So, in terms of the Facebook algorithm, one of the things that, in response to all of this and all of these updates, this is a pet peeve. We've already talked about this, but I'm bringing it up again because it's such a pet peeve of mine. One of the things that a lot of pages are doing, and people I love, are creating videos to teach brands how to do this, which I take a deep woosah, and I understand that they're creating content because they can. But do not, as a page, do not please go and say, sign up for my page or follow my page and click see first. If you do that, I am going to smack you. Even if it's just virtually, I'm going to smack you. You look effing desperate, okay? If you have to beg people to click see first so they see your content in their newsfeed, you're desperate. And if everybody goes and does that for every page they follow, we're back in the same cesspool that got us into the algorithm in the first place. Too much content, not gonna happen. If your audience wants to see your content, they're gonna see your content. If they don't, they're not gonna. The fact that you have to ask them to see your content is desperation, and I want to smack the people who do it. Hi, girly girl. My daughter is watching. Hi, baby. Oh my goodness, I love when she chimes in. So she's probably watching me and running around and has a TV on and everything and distracted. So hi, baby. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Real TPS Fit said, I like the Facebook change. It's forced me to do more live and I'm getting more engagement. Yes. Do different things. The algorithm is meant to fix problems. If you've been doing things a certain way, you're gonna have to evolve. You're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to try new things. Guess what? Change is good. It forces us to do different tactics, try different strategies, implement different things, get more creative, do video, do more photo posts, do more link posts, whatever it is, get creative, try different things. You might be surprised at what actually works. Watson KS said, no, not the see first. I know. I told you I was going to talk about that because he was talking about this the other day too. And I'm like, oh, I'm so over that stupid thread of all that. So, and TP said I was so lazy with my Facebook page before. It's easy to get lazy. It's easy to kind of, check the box and be like, posted to Facebook, done for the day. That's not going to work, you guys. That's how, when we as people get lazy, as marketers, we create the cesspool of junk that is out there that now the algorithm has to try to weed out because we do it to ourselves because we're lazy. Watson K said that tactic is right up there with the push notifications craziness when Instagram announced the algorithm. It's the exact same thing. And you guys remember this, was it like a year ago when you could turn on the notifications and everyone had a post saying, turn on notifications and make sure you see my content because of the whole flipping algorithm and all that. Yeah. No, didn't like it then. Don't like it now on Facebook. Okay, so a couple other things in terms of how to deal with the Facebook algorithm. First and foremost, don't abandon Facebook. The fact that people are like, oh, that's it, I'm done, throwing my hands up, I'm not doing Facebook anymore. Why? You're a fucking idiot. Don't abandon Facebook. Do you know what Facebook does? Do you know what you have with a Facebook page? Do you know the opportunities you have? You can't abandon it. That defeats the whole purpose. That's just you being a stubborn fool and not wanting to have to actually do any work for your damn Facebook page. That's how that goes. My girl Corey, my co-author of Instagram for Business for Dummies, just showed up. Hey girl, hey. We're talking mostly Facebook algorithm, but a little bit of the Instagram algorithm. So, Real TPS Fit says Gary Vee still does that with the instant or the push notifications that follow. So here's the thing. You don't want to abandon Facebook. This is the analogy I always use. I use this with all my clients when they ask me why they need a Facebook page. Facebook today is what the Yellow Pages was 10, 20 years ago. You need one. You must be listed in the phone book if you want people to find your business. Well, now you must be on Facebook if you want people to find your business. Why? Because Google searches, any SEO, any search engine is going to turn around and search Facebook for content. If they're looking for your business name, guess what shows up? Your Facebook page. If you abandon it, bye-bye search results. Or if they go look at your page, it's inactive and it's dead and they think your business is dead. You need that business? Guess not, because you ain't gonna get it. So why on earth would you abandon Facebook? It's completely irrelevant to freak out to that level of extent that you say, I'm not going to use Facebook anymore. You need Facebook. I tell all my clients, you need a Facebook page. There's very few things I say you need when it comes to social media. You need a Facebook page. Plain and simple. If you want a legitimate business, you need that. Jess Journals is in the house. Christian Martinez also joined in. Good to see you guys. We're talking Facebook algorithm right now. So another thing that a lot of people are doing with all of this shift is they're like, fine, Facebook's going to be pay to play, then I'm just going to put money behind all my posts. Oh, hell no, people. Do you not understand how Facebook advertising works? That's not how it works. It's not to turn around and go boost post, boost post, boost post, boost. That's not how it works. I promise you that's not how it works. That's not going to benefit anybody, you guys. Because you know what? Then none of your content's going to get any more publicity because you're putting so much ad spend behind everything that it can't possibly compete with everything else. So now you're going to get absolute crappy value on your ad spend. Cheval is in the house. Hey, good to see you as well. So just throwing money behind every post is not a successful solution to saying, oh, I want people to see my post. That's not how it works. There's another whole argument we can have about how Facebook advertising works, but basically, you only want to put money behind your highest performing posts. You want to put it behind the posts that have done well organically, that show success, that people actually like the content, that then you put the ad money behind it, because then if you do that, the people who see it as a result of you spending money on it are likely to take action on it. If you have crappy content that nobody likes and you put money behind that crappy content, doesn't make the crappy content any better. Just shows your crap content to more people. Know what happens with crap content? No one interacts. So you know what happens? You spend more money. You spend money and you get no results. Not gonna happen. It's useless. So don't just go around and say, oh, I'm just gonna put money behind every post and no. That's not how it works. Real TPS said yes to the post boost. #truthbomb. Thanks, girl. Okay, so here's what you can do when it comes to Facebook. And we've talked about this, but I'm reiterating it because I feel like it's never going to go away until people listen to me talk about this. Live video. Live video is not saturated. For everything Facebook has done to promote live video, not enough people are using it. Will that change? Probably. But right now, not enough people are using it. Get off your tiny, little, scared ass and get over there and record a live video. Seriously. Stop. Just this whole fear, this whole I don't want to be on camera, this whole I don't have anything to talk about, the whole I don't know what to actually do in terms of, sharing live video content. What should I talk about? What should I film? Where should I be? How often should I do it? Figure it out. Go live. Have a bit of a plan. Have a bit of strategy. I've talked about going live and strategies numerous times. You can look it up on my blog, jenstrends.com, but seriously, you need to go live. Because live video generates engagement. Look at all the comments and interaction we have here on this Instagram Live. Right now, only 8 people watching live. People are coming in, they're jumping off, they come back and watch the replay, they send me direct messages in response to the replay. You guys are here dropping your questions in here. We're having a legitimate conversation back and forth. Facebook Live is the same thing. You've got to embrace it. If you want that level of engagement, you need to do live videos. I don't care if it's once a month. Once a month, go on for 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Doesn't have to be an hour like I do because I can ramble endlessly. But go on. Go do something. You have to get out there. Stop being scared. Stop making up every excuse in the book for why you can't do it. Because you can. Okay? There are plenty of people out there who are terrified to do it, and they're out there doing it. Guess what? Take your audience on the journey with you. They will embrace you. They will encourage you. They will be there to support you. And you're not going to get better until you try. So start your live video strategy now. Real TPS Fit said, get into lives while it's still new and fresh. Exactly. Get in there. Get on the ground floor before it's saturated. Get to the point where people are tuning in regularly for your shows and you're not competing for new eyeballs. Blake W said, #truth carpet bombing up in here. I love that. Cheval said, record a show and interview others. There's a million things you guys can do. You can absolutely make this work for you. You can do the guest interviews. You can have someone come on so you don't have to do the whole thing by yourself. There's tons of things you can do about your business. Trust me, you want more? Come talk to me. I'm happy to help. The other thing we want to talk about that you can do when it comes to this Facebook algorithm, as a business, you can have a group. I talked a lot about groups when I did my last video chat talking about the Facebook algorithmic changes. I've talked about it on my blog. Tons of information out there on how to use groups effectively to actually grow your audience. Still use your business page. You still want to have it present and be active, but move more of your engagement into a group where you have a more confined environment, where it's not public, where it's not there for everybody to see. People feel a little bit more open, a little safer to have engaging conversations and share more information or ask questions because it's a more enclosed environment. Ken said, and your few lives will be shit, but you got to start somewhere. And Real TPS said, word. And that's, yeah. Everyone sucks. Everybody. No one starts off being perfect unless they've been on live camera their entire lives. but they've had all that practice before they go on a Facebook Live. And guess what? Life happens on live video. You guys have seen it to me. I've made a fool of myself. I've tripped over my words. I've had doorbells ring. I've had dogs barking. I've had kids playing in the background. You name it. I've had it happen on a live video. Okay? I've had my camera my phone fall over in the middle of a live video. It happens. It's live video. That's what makes it entertaining. It makes it relatable because you're not perfect and rehearsed and edited out of all the stuff. Realty PS Fit said, the more lives you do, the better you get. It's practice, 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 practice. So you definitely want to be using Facebook groups. Another thing you want to do as a business is create Facebook events for your business. If you have a sale, create a Facebook event for it. If you're doing an in-store promotion, create an event for it. If you're doing, a webinar, create an event for it. If you're doing a podcast, create an event for it. A lot of people are doing this for their podcasts. You create a Facebook event because guess what? When I decide I want to go watch your podcast, I'm going to listen to it, I go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to it. And then all my friends see that I'm going to this. And anybody who's got the similar interest will, oh, maybe I should look at that and I'm going to go follow that. Same thing. I find out everything to do in San Diego with my daughter from Facebook events. And then I turn on and go, oh, that looks interesting. I'll either say interested or going. And guess what? 3 of my friends will turn around and decide that they're interested in it. And then a bunch of us end up going with our kids together. Or we ended up, even if they don't go, it was a chance that, they got to see something because I liked it, or like vice versa. They like something and then I go, oh, that looks interesting. I want to look into it too. Use Facebook events. I don't know how more clearly I can say it. They are hugely valuable for reach and exposure to new audiences and being able to get your business in front of new people. Timmer_hempwork said, along with the event, make time sensitive. Yes, absolutely. Watson K said, do a weekly Twitter chat, do a Facebook event. Yes, absolutely. If you have any sort of things going on, create a Facebook event, you guys. You have to do this. And you can put it in there as a recurring event. You can put the time frames on it. You can put information. You can add photos. You can add links. You can put descriptions. You can do all these things in your Facebook events and get a ton of exposure. And it gives you insight into your audience too. Who's going to potentially be there? Who's interested? Are more people interested in a certain event than another kind of event? All of these things play into information that you can use when creating future events. Seeking Surnames is here. Realty PS Fit said, okay, I'll do events for sure. Thanks for the tip. I'm happy I could help, girl. Okay, so, here's another thing I want to talk about. When it comes to Facebook, when it comes to social media, when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to anything, for the love of all things on this green earth, would you please stop trying to please everybody? You know what gets you in trouble? Trying to please everybody. It's not going to happen. We got CL Web 21 in the house. Hey, good to see you as well. Look, I've preached this from the beginning. I preach it all the time. And when I do presentations and I talk about how I grew my blog from, 0 to successful in basically a year, how did I do it? I had a fucking opinion. Yes, I said an F word. If you don't like it, then I'm not the right person for you. If you don't like my sarcastic nature, I'm not the right person for you. If you don't like my flailing wavy hands, I'm not the right person for you. I am who I am. I come through with that 100% from my blog post to my live videos to when you see me at a conference. This is all you get. I am not faking it. I have called out people publicly. I have called out people privately. I have had blatantly opposite opinions of all the big names in the industry, and I am not afraid to stand by my opinion. I will admit if I'm wrong. I am happy to be shown that I'm wrong. I'm happy to have a discussion and a conversation, but I have a flipping opinion. And that is how you stand out on Facebook, because people want to interact with people, and people are not corporate speak who literally have no opinion. If all you do is speak in the most politically correct corporate verbiage that is the most, canned response imaginable, of course no one's going to want to interact with you. You have no personality. You have no capacity to entertain any audience. And you end up alienating everybody. Blake said, thanks, Jen. We'll catch the rest on YouTube. Great info. Good night. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. The replay will be here for 24 hours, you guys. So make sure you catch it here. If not, I'll get it uploaded to YouTube. So here's the thing. Have an opinion. Be personable. If you're quirky and fun, my girl Tanya, the real TPS Fit, she's crazy. She's flipping crazy, and I love her. I love her. She loves me. It's a great thing. We're both crazy. We're both straight up crazy. So we just get along really well. I'm obsessed with shoes. We all know this. Hashtag shoefy. You see me at a conference, chances are we're going to grab a shoefy because that's what I do. And people know that. They literally come to conference and go, what shoes is Jen going to wear today? Like, they literally expect this from me because I talk about it. It's who I am. Embrace those tendencies and be a part of that. I just had this situation come up in my Facebook group. It's at Jen's Trends and social media. If you want to follow along in that group, go ahead. I'll add you to the group. And a new girl came in and she had this photo because she wants to invite me onto her podcast. And in her photo is like her feet up on a chair and she's wearing these gorgeous like suede shoes, which of course I totally had a shoegasm over. And so I made a comment about it and I was like, and can we take a hot minute and talk about your shoes? So next thing you know, like everyone else is chiming in about the shoes and she's like, oh my God, I'm going to love this group. You girls are amazing. And it was like, this is somebody who came in, and I'm talking within like an hour of her being in the group. She's telling me how much she's loving my group. Why? Because I'm talking to a specific personality. I'm talking about myself in a way that people can relate to. I'm sharing information in a way that is completely relatable, that all of a sudden people are like, I'm either going to love you or I'm not. And if you don't, I'm totally okay with that. We're not here to appease everybody. So you need to take that into consideration when you're on your Facebook page. Don't go corporate speak and boring verbiage. It's not going to help you. Have a personality. Use emojis. Use slang. Use different, voice in terms of context, like different people writing it and have them write it from their own way of writing, using their own, context and connotations and all these different, stories that they can pull in and make it personal. Like I guarantee you will see so much more success on your Facebook page if you go that direction of personality, because that's what people will actually interact with on Facebook. So we got Daria Jameson is in the house. So good to see you as well. Larry Snow said, sounds like when I used to work in corporate communications, gray and dreary corporate speak. It is. Trust me. I know, because I have to do it too. I have other environments where I do have to use that. And it's like, oh my God, I'm going to hurt somebody. If I have to say one more politically correct statement, I can't do it. Because no one cares. It's so fake. It's so irrelevant that everybody ignores it. We've also got Head in the Clouds Boutique. Hey, so good to see you. I think you sent me a message earlier today, but I haven't had a chance to check my messages. So I'll get on that after this, I promise. So, hey girl, Shannon Hernandez is in the house. Hey, are you coming to NAMM on Saturday? If you are, make sure you come say hi. I'm speaking at 12 and at 4:30, somewhere in the main hall, apparently. I don't know. I'm speaking at the NAMM conference, NAMM, up at the Anaheim Convention Center. If anybody's in Anaheim, if you have any interest in music, you're coming to the convention, I would love to see you. Seeking Sure Names is laughing at my comment, shoegasm. Look, there's a lot of things you can do, excuse me, in terms of building your presence on Facebook. We talked about some of them tonight. There's a lot of different things you can do. I really want you, to try these things and make Facebook work for you. But when push comes to shove, the people who are freaking out the most about Facebook are the people who are only using Facebook. If just like the people who freak out about Instagram, the Instagram algorithm, the potential changes, the fact that there were changes, like people are still freaking out about the fact that it's not chronological anymore. Like, get over it. But you know why these people freak out so much? Because it's the only place they market. They're not diversifying. They're not using an email list. They're not using a website. They're not using 4 social media platforms. They're only on Facebook or they're only on Instagram. So when things change, of course they freak out because they're like, oh, my reach is going to go down. I'm not going to have any chance to, sell my products. This is my livelihood and you're taking away my livelihood. Well, I'm sorry. If you based your entire livelihood on a free social media platform that you have no control over, not my problem. I'm sorry to be rude, but it's not my problem. That's your problem. You need to get a website. You need to get an email list. You need to use other social media. You need to find another way to get in front of your audience and get them to buy your products. Because if you're only using Instagram, I understand why. I completely understand it. But it is a bad business idea. And I understand that a lot of people are small businesses and they don't have big budgets and they can't afford to do all of these things and their time is limited and they can't afford to, have 5 social media platforms and manage all of them, 8 hours a day. I get it. Neither do I. Okay? Mama works a full-time job. Mama runs a successful side business. I'm a single mom. And oh, I do get 8 hours of sleep a night. Well, sometimes 7. But I do sleep every night. So somewhere in all of there, I'm managing to run Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and LinkedIn, plus a blog, plus I do guest blogs, plus I do guest interviews on podcasts, plus I run this interview or this Instagram live on a regular basis every other week, and I have a personal life. So I'm sorry, but if you can't get in front of your audience, not my problem. Okay? Figure it out. You can find the time. I'm not saying you can do everything I do. I'm not saying I can do everything you can do. You may have way more time constraints than I do. That's fine. But there's absolutely no excuse for why you cannot possibly have more diversity in your marketing. There's no excuse. So get out there, do something different. If Facebook's not working, or you're freaking out because that's the only place you are, try Instagram, try Twitter, try Pinterest, try Snapchat, try anything. But go someplace else. If all your eggs are in the one basket, which TPS Fit just said, all your eggs in one basket equals business death. Especially when that basket is on free rented land. Free rented land is social media. You have no control over it. You know what you have control over? Your website and your email list. You own that. You can do whatever you want with that. You can send people whatever you want. Social media is not that place. Watson K said, all the people that built on Blab and they freaked out when it shut down because it was the only place they were on. Exactly. Who remembers Blab? I loved Blab. It was awesome. And it was this great, it was kind of like, like the free version of Zoom, but it was like someplace where like everyone could kind of just like go publicly. Like it was like more like social media where, so you could have the two people and you could do interviews. So you could do like podcast style, but it was video, but it was like super easy. There was no funky tech involved. It was super easy to use. And we literally have like 3 minutes left, you guys. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. But it was this great platform. And a lot of people built a podcast audience using Blab. And then they shut down. And everyone freaked out because this is where they had built an audience and they didn't have them anywhere else. They hadn't moved them to their email list. They hadn't moved them to social media. They hadn't had a chance to build that audience in another place where when Blab shut down, they lost their audience. I mean, that's your own fault. I'm sorry. I understand yes, I love Instagram and I do Instagram lives and that's where I am. But guess what? If Instagram shut down tomorrow, I could go to Facebook. I could go to Periscope. I could go someplace else to continue this same content and my audience I would have ways to get a hold of them because I'm already on those platforms. I'd be able to get out in front of them. I have my email list. I could share that information with people. So there's lots of things I can do and you need to be doing the same thing to be able to diversify. And then, so TPS Fit said, that's why repurposing is so important. Can't be everywhere all the time. Do what works. # figure it out. William Dobbs joined in. For those of you who came in late, we do only have about 2 minutes left. Make sure you come back and watch the replay. It'll be up here for 24 hours. Tim, our hempwork, said, how do you use a Pinterest platform? It's just the pics, right? It's not, you can't obviously do live video, and it is photos, but within those photos, you can have links. So you can, I share a lot of social media articles via Pinterest. So there's like an article, image, and then that image then is, what gets shared out, but then that links to the blog post and things like that. So there's lots of ways you can actually use Pinterest very successfully. TPS Fit said, Google Alyssa Meredith. Yes. She's great. And she has a whole, I can't remember what no, it wasn't that one. I can't remember what the name of her actual website is, but yes, Google her. Tanya wrote it up here perfectly. So seems like you might stay on the same time schedule no matter what. I do. And I do these every 2 weeks at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm here. I put it on my calendar so I show up and I don't ignore you and I don't forget about you. You have to commit to this like a job. You have to commit to it like a doctor's appointment. You don't get to cancel things when you do this. You have to commit to it and that's how you get successful. Seeking Surname said Pinterest is good for long-term blog traffic. It absolutely is. TPS Fit said also Melissa Griffin and Peg Fitzpatrick too. Yes. Peg is great. She has a ton of Pinterest content as well. And VIP Jewelry Supplies just joined in as well as Art by Caleb. So good to see you guys. I'm wrapping up. I'm going to have about a minute before I get kicked off of here, and I always get kicked off. So we didn't talk a ton about Instagram, but if you do want to catch that, oh, manly Pinterest tips. Yes, Jeff C. S-I-E-H is how his last name is pronounced like the letter C, but it's spelled S-I-E-H. And he has the manly Pinterest tips and manly Pinterest show. He's amazeballs as well. Totally different perspective because he looks at it from a man's perspective, not just the typical, kind of female perspective that we think of Pinterest. I got 28 seconds. Okay, I gotta go. Don't forget, the books are on my desk. You still have a few more hours tonight to enter the contest on my profile to win both a signed copy of Instagram for Business for Dummies as well as the all-in-one social media marketing for dummies. You can get those, sign up, enter on my profile. I got to go because I'm going to get kicked off. I love you. Mwah! I will see you in 2 weeks.